What's going on, guys? What is up? Happy Tuesday, July 12th. We are sitting here, market about to close in 1 hour, power hour. All of the indexes are red. Gonna start off by looking at some of your favorite stocks and see where we're at. Some of the movers of the day. GameStop 140.97, up 8%. AMC 1574 flirted many times today with that $16 ceiling. We keep on bouncing off of it. It is currently at 1575, up a little bit over 5%. Let's put up PepsiCo for a minute. Let me go to the big screen. Pepsi had their earnings this morning. Pepsi, where'd you go? They did beat on earnings, and they had a good outlook going forward for Pepsi. And it moved pretty good in the early part of the day, but we have lost a bunch of that during the trading day here. Another one I want to point out to you, you probably already know it if you're following me on Twitter or you're on the Discord. Canoo, the EV company, ticker symbol GOEV. Canoo was up as much as 80% in pre-market into the first few minutes of trading today based on a deal with Walmart. You know, this is the kind of deal I was looking for from Mullen, and we haven't heard anything yet other than a deal for 600 vehicles with Mullen. But Canoo announced a deal for 4,500 cargo vans with Walmart with the potential to sell an additional 10,000 vans. So good on you if you were in Canoo, if you've been a long-term holder of GOEV, or you bought in on those dips like I did on Mullen, hoping that I get some good news on this. You know, GOEV was pretty much as cheap as Mullen at one point, if we go back here far enough. And I think if we, $1.75. $1.75 could have got you GOEV just on July 5th. If we get some news like that out of Mullen, I would expect to see a run-up like this to $4 or $5. But to date, Mullen has not released anything other than that 600 vehicle announcement, and that is just not enough in the face of the upcoming dilution they have. Yes, I know. If you follow Mullen, there are certain people saying the dilution will never happen. It'll never happen with Mullen. I'm going to beg to disagree, and I will double down and say if Mullen does not approve dilution, they're probably going to be facing bankruptcy. But I think there's little chance that Mullen dilution will not be approved. 1.75 billion shares, if I'm not mistaken. Highcroft Mining, and that is on July 26th. I have our CPA reviewing the financials just to double check my work and see if there's any out for Mullen if they don't approve the dilution to raise money. I'll follow up with a follow-up post later this afternoon. Highcroft Mining in the green today, $1.03. Twitter on the Elon news down to $34. Tesla 694. I did come across an article on Twitter yesterday from a U.S. user, a U.S. owner. I think he had the Model Y. Sorry, I'm not a Tesla vehicle expert yet. But his vehicle shut down on him. The rear motor quit, and he had like 4 seconds to pull over. He said, thank God I'm not on the highway, because the car just stopped. And I did a little more digging, and you guys might have seen this in early June. Again, I'm speed reading through these articles, trying to go through as many companies as I can last night. But I came across an article that said they were stopping production of that vehicle in Germany for the exact same issue, rear motor failure. So keep an eye on Tesla. Help me dig into that one. If you know more about that, send me links, send me articles. If I'm all washed up and I got this all wrong, let me know that too. Amazon at 109. Mullen $1.12, down almost 8% today. And Prague Bior in the red, 2.2%. Earnings tomorrow that we're going to be looking at mainly is Delta. Again, if you didn't sit in with me yesterday morning, I felt good about PepsiCo. I am really curious what Delta is going to do, although we got some good news out of American Airlines today in a press release, so maybe Delta will be okay. And then we have all the banks Thursday and Friday. So Thursday and Friday are our big days for this week. Max Payne for AMC, $15. If this upward trend in AMC and GameStop continue, I do expect that the Max Payne numbers will adjust up because people will be FOMO buying these last minute options. Max Payne on GameStop, 130. We were looking this morning at the short interest on the Discord, and I was sharing some thoughts this morning. I'm going to share them again. Again, you can agree or disagree. I'm just sharing my opinion. But the way that I'm looking at this, for the last 3 months, let me get rid of the exchange reported interest and days to cover. We've seen the short interest on AMC fall from about 23.5% down to 17.5%, 17.67. Cost to borrow 12%. So what does this mean? How is the short interest falling? Right? I know a lot of people are wondering that. Almost 6%. And why aren't we seeing more of a price run up? My general thoughts on that, and I could be wrong. This is just my take on it based on what I would do if I was a short hedge fund, is they are taking advantage of a downward market, a falling market, lack of institutional buying, retail being out of money, inflation, all your money's going to gas and food. You're not buying as many stocks these last 6-8 weeks. They are using the downward pressure to slowly cover some of these shorts. That's my read on this, how this is happening and why we're not getting a bigger run up. Doesn't mean that that we can't get a big run up on August 4th when the pounce happens, or whatever date Adam Aaron announces that. And we'll talk more about that again in a few minutes, what our current thoughts are on that. But I don't like the interest rate, the short interest being below 20%. That's kind of my threshold for even considering anything of a MOAS. If it's below 20%, we're losing ground. The other thing that could happen as the price runs up is they take new shorts. So this may sort itself out. And I would love to see them short it some more leading into August 4th, drive that short interest up and load the spring, and then Adam Aaron drop a bomb on them. So cross some fingers. We will have to see. We've got a few weeks to go. GameStop, short interest. Let me hit refresh. 23%, cost to borrow 35%. Notice that they're still keeping the short interest high on GameStop. Why is that? Because there's no pounce coming on GameStop. Now, if you're a GameStop elitist, I use that word lovingly. If you're only GameStop is your one and only. You might not like what I'm going to say, but GameStop is in a little bit weaker position because there are some things happening in the movie industry we're going to talk about in a few minutes. And an NFT marketplace, while exciting for GameStop and GameStop shareholders, is the timing's a little bit off. As many NFTs, as you guys know, are down as much as 90%. So that the market still has some action for NFTs, but it's lost a lot of momentum. Long term, could it come back? Absolutely. So it's not all, I'm not saying it's bad news for GameStop, but the NFT marketplace is not enough to launch this thing. The stock split, on the other hand, coming up with GameStop, could continue to give it upward momentum. And indeed it has. GameStop's at 138, 138.70. Is that still right? Yeah, 138.73, up 6%. So I expect that as we get closer and closer to this stock split date, we'll continue to see some run up. And then post split, we will also see buying pressure from you and me and other retail investors, and maybe some institutions that want to come in and pick up shares cheaper, even though we're getting 1/4 the share for 1/4 the price. But you know what I mean. So if the renewed buying pressure follows the stock split, then there's no reason GameStop can't. Let's see, divide this by 4. What would that be? 125-ish. Sorry, not 125-ish. 45-ish. That's what I was trying to say. 42. Whatever, let's just say it's in the 40s, and then people come in and buy it. No, that's too low too. Too high. 130-ish. Damn it. Have another cup of coffee, Tony. Somewhere in the 30s. It drops into the 30s. People go in and buy it, run it back up to 60. That would be essentially the same as GameStop being like 250, 260, 270 right now. That would put a world of hurt on shorts. We don't need to worry about. My opinion is that the stock split dividend is not going to do anything different than a regular stock split, but that is not really important. If buying pressure comes in, there'll be plenty enough movement up in GameStop. So I'm not worried about it. Not worried about GameStop. Do I think that it's going to go to $6,000 because of the stock split dividend? I do not. It's going to be dependent on you and me and other buyers to drive the price up after the split. One thing that I tweeted out last night, I just saw somebody tweet out this table. It happened to be GameStop. It doesn't matter what stock it is. But he drew a box around all these FTDs. 433,000 June 14th, 673, 643, going back a week or 10 days. You guys see people do this all the time on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, and said, look at all these FTDs. If you add these up, they've got millions, maybe billions to cover. What no one ever does that tweets that stuff out is bother to read these little footnotes here. Number 8, number 7, number 10. What number 8 tells you down here, this is chartexchange.com, by the way, and the SEC website will tell you the same thing, or the exchange websites. Failures to deliver on a given day, like 6/14, the last day on this table, are cumulative, meaning they include the days preceding. They're cumulative of all the fails outstanding until that day, plus any new ones that day, minus any that settled from the day before or any preceding days. So it is not correct to add all of these up. This is the failure to deliver reported to the exchange. I'm going to put an asterisk in this conversation because I already have seen the comments, and I don't disagree with all of them, but I want you guys to have your hat on correctly when you're seeing people post this stuff and trying to add all these up. That is incorrect. This is the current number of exchange reported FTDs, and it decreased 240,000 from the day before. Why does it end on June 14th? Well, if we look at footnote 7, this was one of the comments. Footnote 7 says that the first half of a month, so first half of June, is available at the end of the month. So we got those FTD numbers for June 1st to the 14th at the end of June. The second half of the month will be available on the 15th of next month. So in 3 days, we'll get all the FTD data for the end of June. It is unfortunate that they don't provide us that on a day-to-day basis. Sure would be nice to see. Once again, retail gets the short end of the stick, and Gary Gensler talking about providing information to retail so we can do our research. You're failing at your job, my friend. Failing at your job. Make it happen. Give us daily, or at a minimum, 1 day delay on FTDs. It is ridiculous that we got to wait a month to get updated FTD data. Just ridiculous. Now, the asterisk on the FTD conversation. Yes, there was a SEC article published in 2013 talking about sham closeouts on stocks that were failure to deliver or on the threshold list. That absolutely was a thing, and it absolutely could still be a thing when we talk about kicking them down the road, or resetting them, or rebooting them. Whatever terminology you want to use on FTDs, there are ways that the bad guys can do that. 100%. The SEC highlighted them as recently as 2013. I see that article posted and reposted many times over the last year on Reddit. And that 2013 article is the basis for every theory that all the FTDs are being hidden. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't trust Wall Street. I don't trust anybody up there in New York when it comes to money and what's the nicest way to say this? Bending the rules to see what they can get away with. So could they be utilizing other methods to reboot, hide, or kick FTDs down the road? 100%. You won't get an argument at this time anyways for me. I've seen enough good due diligence from some of my friends on other channels that tell me that is entirely a possibility. All I'm saying is when someone posts a table and adds all those numbers up, that factually is incorrect. All right, let's see what questions you guys have here and who all's in the chat. 8 Blazin, Silver Surfer, Manuel, Javi, what's up, friend? Jared, Slick Rick, Rands, Headstock Harem, what's going on? Walt, hola. Kathy, how you doing, Kathy? Life is good. Chuck Donald, what is going on? I almost had the parrot on my shoulder again for you guys today, but he just got picked up. If you're wondering what the heck am I talking about, go back and watch yesterday morning's live stream. I was hoping to have him on one more time. I thought they weren't coming here till 3 o'clock, but he was hanging out with me, finishing up the 2 crypto videos that'll be published after the market closed today. Headstock Harem says, Lucid will have a small SUV to fight Tesla in the future. Might take a bite out of Mullen also. Yeah, Lucid I haven't done my deep dive on, but I will be covering Lucid in an upcoming video in the next few weeks. I think we got plenty of time for me to do deep dives on this, and there's just so much new, more timely information that's coming at us. I keep on having to push EV stuff off, but we got our first Mullen video out, our first Polestar, and the others are coming along with the charging companies. I have been doing research on them, but I'm not anywhere close having enough done on any of them to get the next video out. Roseanne, what's going on? Tom, Charlie, DWAC, what's going on with DWAC? It had a little bit of flatness today. 29.38. I did not check since this morning if there was any DWAC new news, and there must not be. I'm looking at all the bearish articles on it. Don't take a chance on this dumpster fire. This one from Yahoo Finance 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to argue with anyone that says DWAC is speculative and risky. I own DWAC, and I agree 100%. It is speculative, risky. It's just as likely to go to 0 as 100. But I like having a few gambling plays. And I think that if if DWAC and Truth Social pass through this SEC investigation, if they make it through that, and there's some Trumpy news, this thing will fly way, it's hard for me to say a target, but you know where it's been. That's where it would head to. On the flip side, being fair, if the SEC torpedoes the merger, this thing could easily fall to $10 or lower. So just know that. And let's gamble a little bit. We got to have a few gamblers to keep life interesting. Jack Wolf, what's going on, buddy? Dino Mike, Proud Ma, Ultra Omega, Thomas B. AMC will run to 84.32. We're going to get to AMC August 4th in just a minute, as soon as I catch up with these comments. Jack says it's still hard to trust Adam, Aaron, and any bomb dropping. We're going to get to that in just a minute. What is going on? Eric, Martin, Gia, Dutch Boy. Jack says, wouldn't they want to clear GME before the split? I mean, Jack, I understand the stock split dividend talk going around on every other channel on Reddit for the last year. I know I'm going against the grain here. I talk to other content creators who argue with me bitterly offline. I get it. I understand 100% everybody else's viewpoint. I have a different viewpoint. I have my due diligence is not based on reading Reddit or seeing the word dividend after stock split and making an assumption. I did research, 60 plus hours. We talked to our CPA. I've talked to other companies now that have done stock split dividends and asked them, was that for shorts? I'm talking to investor relations at other companies. I did reach out to GameStop, but they're swamped. They haven't gotten back to me. I said, I asked them a bunch of questions like, are the shares recalled? Do you go through ComputerShare? Do they all go through ComputerShare? Why did you do it? Was it the same as a stock split? In every case, both brokerages, independent brokers, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, other companies that have done a stock split dividend, 100% of them have told me, and again, if I'm wrong, I'll come back after the stock split and make a correction video, and I'll bake up some humble pie and eat it in front of everybody. But every independent source that is not biased and getting their DD from Reddit has told me that this stock split dividend on GameStop will act exactly as a stock split in terms of shorts. Now, I'm not going to get into any drawn out arguments with anybody about the word dividend. I'm just telling you the research that I've done and what I've been told by independent, legitimate sources. You can like that or not like that. I don't care. I'm just sharing information so that if nothing happens, if the thing doesn't run up to $1,000 or $2,000, at least you have the comfort of knowing why from one person. If I get different information, I still have other phone calls I'm waiting back to hear. If I get differing information that contradicts what I've dug up, I will 100% come back and tell you the second I have it. I would prefer it run up to $1,000 or $2,000 or $10,000 or what have you. I'd prefer that a stock split dividend expose tens of billions of synthetics. I'm a shareholder just like you. But in 100% honesty, that is not the information that I uncovered. In a stock split, everything in existence will split. There is no obligation from shorts to go buy shares to fulfill the word dividend. And again, I get it. People get hung up on that word. We're just going to all have to agree to disagree, and we'll find out here shortly. I'm on your side. I own GameStop. I want it to fucking run up. But I also don't want people to leave the play or stop having interest in this. I see them all the time checking out. Something doesn't happen by this date, I'm gone. Yeah, because you're getting fed misinformation. You're getting your hopes built up for nothing. I don't want to see that happen to you. I want you to have your expectations set in reality. Eric says, heavily considering doing some call options on GameStop after the stock split. Eric, I'm considering doing some before the stock split. And I'm doing a dance right now, deciding the date. Why would I do them before? Because after the price drops, there's going to be a run-up, I think, due to buying pressure. The dance is figuring out, is the bulk of the run-up going to happen before the stock split or after? If I buy call options now, I'm safe. I'll capture both, but I'm paying more money for those call options because I got to get them for a longer time period. If I try and wait, let's say till next Monday, or a week from Monday, or right before the stock split, then the options that I would need to buy are cheaper because I don't have to extend the timeout as long, but I might miss any run-up into the date of the short squeeze. The other thing that I'm dancing with is, are we going to have a rug pull that affects the entire market because of inflationary and bond issues and concerns over the Fed raising interest rates? So I'm thinking about it all day, every day. I haven't pulled the trigger, but I'm with you. I want to buy some GameStop options, call options, in addition to my shares. Just, I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars on them, but I'll buy some just as a little adder to pad the shares that I have. And if I'm wrong on those options, if it doesn't meet my strike price, well, I'm not going to spend more on options than I'm willing to lose. That's why I buy shares. I buy shares because I don't have to worry about a date and expiration. Options for me are just they're either a hedge on the downside or a boost, a sweetener on the upside. And I'm going to be doing the same thing for AMC going into August 4th. We've been talking about that a lot on the Discord. Since I think there's no looming split for AMC, but GameStop split will affect AMC to a certain extent. I got to keep that date for GameStop in mind when I'm deciding what to do with AMC. And I do have several open call options on AMC. I've got $16 strikes for this Friday and September, and $20 strikes for this Friday. Scott says, I saw two kids fighting on the elementary school playground, and being the only adult around, I had to step in. Little bastards didn't stand a chance. Thank you, Scott. Papa Mac, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Sweating our asses off here, man. You guys know we have a lot of animals here in the urban farm in the middle of suburbia. I had to bring one of the chickens inside. Chickens, we had a long talk in the Discord last night about prepping because everybody's kind of freaking out over this New York nuclear survival video. Did you guys see that? And I'm going to keep on telling you guys. I mean, that's just one more little things that make you go But you see what's going on in Sri Lanka and some of these other countries. I mean, in the world of possibilities of chaos and inflationary fears, you never know what might happen. And a run on the grocery stores is not outside of the realm of possibilities for the United States. Is it a likely scenario? Probably not likely. Is it one that you might want to prepare for a little bit anyways? Maybe so. So, here what we do in the household is about a month's supply of staple foods and paper goods, things that you don't want to run out of the day that everybody else is panicking. You want to already be stocked up. And we've got our food supply, chickens, I've got rainwater collection. I've got 50 gallons, 25, 30 gallons of bottled water over here. Just basics, you know, and guns and ammo. But the heat here is killing people's chickens in Texas. Chickens do not like 107 degrees. It will kill them faster than cold because they can't really sweat. So we had to bring one in. Had to bring one inside. Papa Mac in a little bit of distress. All the rest have survived multiple summers, so they're not happy, but they're doing okay. Hang on. Yes. All right. Y'all should both come on camera. Okay. Cassius, SIPC insurance. Casey was going over earlier, insurance for broker accounts. Yes, we have FIDC, if I'm not mistaken, for Cassius for banks, right? And SIPC covers brokerage accounts. I always have to look it up, Cassius. I get confused because I'm old. If it covers if the broker goes, it's, I believe, $250,000 unless they have supplementary insurance. But I always have to look up and remind myself the details about stocks versus cash. So if one of you has it fresh from KC or remembers from memory, feel free to drop it in the chat. Sorry, I can't remember everything on instant recall, but SIPC insurance does exist. If your broker goes bankrupt, it does not cover you for general losses on stocks, though. So you pick a bad stock or a company like Mullen goes bankrupt, SIPC insurance does not cover that. It covers you in the event of your broker going bankrupt. That is the key thing, SIPC and FIDC, the key things that are missing from crypto. And if that all sounds of interest, then you're going to want to watch the first crypto video that I'm dropping after market close. Why your assets are at risk on a crypto exchange. Some of you might already know that. Many of you probably already do. But for those that don't, or I've seen YouTubers now have lost $1 million by keeping all their crypto on one exchange. Just like, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Why would you do that? It's easily avoidable, and we'll talk about that in the next two videos that are coming out. Sharith, good afternoon. Jack says, bet the cat loved that. The cats actually are good with the chickens, Jack. The cats hang out with them in the backyard all the time. Chickens are probably bigger than the cats. Sharif says, I'm from Sri Lanka and our problem is completely due to corruption, nothing else. Yeah, I bet that is part of the problem. And I'd also say we have a bit of corruption here in the United States. People need to understand that GameStop is financial Stalingrad battle. No emotion, Stan says. Yes, cold-blooded, emotionless. Don't let your emotions in any play get the better of you. That is what they're counting on. They being anyone who's shorting your stock or selling it against you, they're counting on typical, traditional retail emotions. And they know exactly how to pull your strings. Paulo, good afternoon. Affy Gorilla says, lost 8,000 on Voyager stock. Can't even sell the rest. Frozen in my broker. Yeah, I was fortunate. I had nothing on Celsius or Voyager, and I didn't own any Voyager. And call it stupid luck, call it intuition, call it just me not being a very trustful person. But when I asked my crypto expert who was telling me all these sick high interest rates he was getting a year ago, I said, well, how are they paying all those high interest rates? He's like, I don't even know. It's great. I was like, yeah, that's not for me. I'm going to go somewhere where it's a reasonable interest rate, and even then I'm a little bit nervous. So the videos that I'm putting out today are my process of getting everything off of Gemini. That might be overkill at this point. You know, maybe we're already through the worst of it, but I just want to leave you with this thought so you come back and watch those 2 videos. If Bitcoin were to drop below 18,000, as far as I'm concerned, everybody else is at risk due to any remaining leverage. Just a concern. We've already tested 18,000, and you know, we didn't see every exchange wiped out, and certainly plenty of them have been around from the beginning days. But all these new products of margined crypto and lending products, you know, has added a whole new set of risks that didn't exist years ago. So for me personally, I'll lose the 2% of earned interest. I don't care, to keep my crypto off the exchange and safe for the rest of this year, or until I see that we're going back into a bull market. Just another ape. Steven says, it makes sense now for the shorts to cover, considering for AMC, I'm assuming we mean Steven, considering from a fundamental perspective, profitability could be around the corner for AMC, and the movie industry on the brink of change. I'm just about to talk to that. Steven, do you want to join in on the Discord and give me a thumbs up in the chat, and I'll bring you in. So you've been following this a lot more closely than me. I don't want to steal your thunder, but I do want to I want to share our little think tank discussion about what's going on with AMC and what potentially is coming up. Our little tinfoil hat moment on the Tony Denaro channel. Give you guys a little bit of bright news. What does diluting mean, Sandro? Diluting is if the company, a stock split or a stock split dividend or a dividend of any kind is not dilution. I'm going to take that back. I don't remember if a cash dividend or stock dividend. I don't think any of them are dilution. I know a stock split or a stock split dividend is not dilution. When the company does these votes where they ask you for more shares and you vote for it, and then they sell those new shares into the market, that is dilution. So if AMC went from 524 million shares to 1 billion, that would be, you know, almost a 50% dilution of the value of your shares, your ownership of the company. So in general, a stock split is a non-event for a shareholder. Your position, your ownership in the company doesn't change with a stock split. But a share offering is dilution. Or if warrants get exercised, that is also dilution. Or if executives sell their executive compensation shares that they were awarded, if they sell those into the market, that is dilution. Paulo, Phantom, I'm holding my Phantom, Paulo. Holding everything. Don't forget the truth. Would investing in InvestCorp be wise? Have not looked into that one, my friend. PM Righteous says, what kind of dip do you think we're going to get in AMC before the rep? Maybe something by Friday. You know, I don't know necessarily that we will get a dip. And, you know, generally what I say is this stock follows the market. Now, for the past couple days, we've had some catalysts going on with the GME stock split, and we think maybe some hedge funds over the past few weeks slowly getting out of AMC, covering, driving the price up a little bit. It's my general belief that when you see these moves up in AMC, that's somebody slowly covering, and then you can tell when they stop because the price comes down. Why are they doing that? We're going to talk about that in a second. R. Baglio, Sundial, what are my thoughts? I think there will be a reverse split, R. Baglio. I couldn't guess the number. I see typically like 1 for 10 or 1 for 20 on these type of reverse splits. I do own some Sundial now, just under 50 cents. I'm not exactly happy about an upcoming reverse split, but I'm going to wait and see if what happens on their quarterly earnings coming up. And I'm going to cross my fingers that Canadians are buying weed and that the acquisitions they did of Alcana start showing some results, because that is ultimately, results will push Sundial up. So it's a toss-up for me. I could take it or leave it. It's not a slam dunk in my book. I know other people say, you know, Sundial's in the books. It's done. It's a guarantee. I don't agree with that. But it definitely could blow up quick with a good quarter. You'll see it. Any good news, you're going to see a 30-cent stock triple, quadruple, $1, $2 very fast. Just out of retail excitement and people wanting to believe in Sundial again. That is why I waited for it to be cheap, just to hang out, low pressure, and then hope we get lucky. Short interest on Sundial is only 9%. That's just not enough to get any sort of meaningful short squeeze. So when it runs up, it's going to be because of retail piling in, and that still works for me. All right. Let me see if Steven joined in the voice chat. Steven, let me know if you are still around, buddy. Let me make sure I have this unmuted. Yep. All right. So, oh, there he is. Can't join at the moment. I'm at work, but give it your best shot. So yeah, guys, for more details on this, you see there in the chat, Just Another Ape. He has his own YouTube channel. Also, you might know him previously as Super Steven. Where are y'all going? All right, have fun. Hi, Heather. All right. Just Another Ape, aka Super Steven. Go check out his channel. We're going to talk about Paramount. I've seen a lot of people putting out videos talking about Disney. We think it's going to be Paramount. What am I talking about? If you missed yesterday's live stream, let me put this link in the chat one more time for you. And go watch Steven's video. Let's see. Judge agrees to end Paramount consent decree. Let's throw that link in the chat for today. All right. So there is your link. In a nutshell, there's been a court ruling for decades and decades affecting the movie industry. If you go back, and Steven, feel free to jump in and correct me, because he's been spending the majority of the time on this. I've been working on other stuff and just speed reading through the DD and having some chats with him. But as I understand it, back in the day, companies like Paramount or Pick Your Movie Company were buying up theater chains so that they could control every aspect of the movie industry. And then people said that was unfair. So a judge made them divest, and movie theaters became separate. And that provided a lot more competition in the industry. But in 2020, this ruling that was made decades ago was reversed. And that is the link in your chat there. And so this is going to open up a lot of potential changes in the movie industry. And guess what date? It's called the Paramount Decree, but it's not specifically singling out Paramount. That was just maybe the plaintiff or the defendant back then. This will affect everybody. And the independent theaters right now are not happy. Stephen went through that in one of his videos, going through some of their comments on this judgment. But this will enable this thing is going to sunset on, guess the date, August 7th, 2022. Who reports earnings on August 4th, 2022? Paramount, and coincidentally, AMC. Coincidence? I don't know. Tinfoil hat. Pounce coming right after Q2, Adam says. Tinfoil hat. You know, we're just spitballing here. I can't guarantee anything. But it certainly is all lining up to be interesting. Something to keep an eye on. And even if Adam Aaron doesn't announce something with Paramount or Disney, even if he doesn't, this is still going to be something you guys need to get up to speed on, this Paramount consent decree. I'll do a video on it maybe tomorrow. I got to get these other two wrapped up on crypto, just to help get Stephen some more exposure and talk about it on my channel also. But this is going to be affecting the movie industry in a myriad of ways, both good and bad, depending on where you're at. But we think that AMC is going to do one of a couple things, either partner with a streaming service, maybe partner with a movie company, less likely, streaming service, more likely, or maybe get into some bankrolling some films themselves, exclusive to AMC. It opens up a whole new window of opportunities. It also opens up a whole new window of challenges. So everybody in the industry, and you can bet your bottom dollar that every hedge fund has known for 2 years that this is coming. This has not really been something that has been on our radar. Stephen brought it up to me a week or two ago. I'm like, how have I been in this play this long? I'm so focused on looking up hedge fund shenanigans that I never even found this. Maybe someone talked about it in the past year. I'll beg your forgiveness. I didn't know about it till Stephen told me in the last 2 weeks. And we've been putting our noggins together trying to figure out if this is going to be good or bad for AMC. And I can see both sides. I'm going to focus on the positive. I'm not going to ignore the negative. And once I have time to really dive into it, I'll have a better feel for it. But let's talk about the positive potential. Just imagine AMC partnering up with a streaming company and getting a full slice of the pie. That could be pretty cool. Chris says, last time they bought a mining company, why not think out the box? Maybe they're going to start selling wedding dresses. Good Lord, Chris, I hope not. That is a train wreck of a business. Train wreck of a business. Anybody own a wedding gown store? I know some people that do. You got to be on your game. You got to be the number one in your town with a stellar reputation to survive that industry. Or you got to be a David's Bridal buying dresses for $20 from China and selling them for $120. That's your only two shots. If you're in the middle, you're barely paying yourself. And you might not make it 7 years. Retail's tough, you guys. Owning a retail store. How about that Cliff Asness? Yeah, I want to get an update from him. I bet he was some of the covering that happened as we pushed $16 today. So to close out the discussion on the Paramount consent decree, it's kind of been our developing thesis that some of these shorts are covering since the middle of June for a couple reasons. Number one, they see the numbers that we see on box office. They see the potential for AMC to have a really good quarter. They see the potential for, I don't know if it's going to be a profitable quarter yet. We're still crunching the numbers on that, but it's going to be much better. And the trend upward, I think, on earnings per share is going to continue. Hopefully we'll get a 0 or a positive. I don't know yet. They see all that, but they also know about this Paramount consent decree. And they know something's brewing. They might be taking advantage of the market falling and lack of buying pressure to slip out of some of their shorts. So if you're wondering why AMC's been going down on short interest, that absolutely could have something to do with it. And the number one reason I've been saying for a year, I do not want the market to crash. I don't want to talk about the market crashing as a catalyst for a short squeeze, is because as the market is falling, that gives them perfect cover to exit short positions without pushing the price up. And that's exactly what you've been seeing. It's exactly what you've been seeing on AMC. 6 weeks of, let me go to the daily. 6 weeks of the price barely moving, $13 to $15, yet short interest has fallen 6%. How do they do that? No buying pressure. No institutional buying pressure, falling market. Great cover for closing shorts. Can it be? Good afternoon to you. Who is Cliff Assness? Robert says, this guy that came on TV about 2 weeks ago, he's like, yeah, we're shorting AMC. We're shorting it at, I don't know what the price was, $12. And I dare any meme traders to try and hurt us. And even if you do, I don't care, because it's a small position in my company. Dickhead. He's one of many hedgies, those evil hedgies that have come on and said that they think AMC is going to a penny and they'll be just fine. Oh, we've left a trail of tears on that. Don't hitch your wagon to that train, Cliff. We'll hand you your assness right back to you. Vortex on pets for Mountain Tactical, absolutely. We can do that real quick. If you don't want to wait on my video one day this week on Paramount, in the meantime, go check out Just Another Ape on YouTube, aka Super Steven. And he's got, I think, 2 videos for you already now, because he's been spending a lot of time digging into this. So go give those a watch. And screw all these people that say Disney. I mean, maybe they'll be right. I don't know. But I don't want, personally, I do not want a partnership with Disney for AMC. That's just a personal bias. PETZ, 11.5%. Short interest. Cost to borrow, 20%. Utilization, 100. And let's see, the short interest was as high as 18% back in just 5 days ago. A lot of covering going on in the last 5 days, 10 days, 5 days. Did I hear about the price manipulation and other shenanigans going on with BBIG? Dave, I've been following those very close, my friend. I'll tell you how close I've been following them. And if you've been following this channel instead of the people that were, well, I'm not going to say that. I'll tell you how close I've been following them. I sold my calls right about here on this high day, and I bought puts right after that. So yes, I've been following BBIG, and I predicted with my money on the line exactly what was going to happen. I talked about it numerous times, telling people not to buy into all the nonsense that was being put out on YouTube about what was going to happen with BBIG blowing up. Now, does it have high short interest, high cost to borrow? I believe it still does, but this was, for me, very predictable. I rode calls, sold for 250%, and then made money on puts on the way down because in my mind, I knew exactly what was going to happen. Spinoff is not a bullish event. Spinoff is spinning off value from a company. It was expected that the stock price would go down. Short interest on BBIG, 21.5%. Cost to borrow, 164% on BBIG. Still a decent short squeeze candidate if buyers come in. So you could, down in this range, might not be a bad time to consider buying some BBIG for the next run up. But I'm not the hugest fan of buying BBIG. I can't ever find a convincing reason to buy it, to be blunt. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I've been following it for over a year now. Never once have I bought it, but I will always, for a hold, I will buy it for momentum, playing with retail, and then getting out. So if that's of interest to you, stick around the channel a little more. And I do talk about these things from time to time, and I'm happy to share my thoughts. A lot of people hate me because I don't echo what everybody else is saying. I give you the unvarnished opinions of Tony Denaro. I'm not here to agree with everybody else. I'm here to share my opinions. If you don't like it, just come back later after the other stuff didn't work out. It's all right. Javi, welcome back. 8 Blazin says they don't need our shares. They just need shares. As long as there's institutions, non-apes, normal retail out there, they have the ability to buy from them. Which one are we talking about, 8 Blazin? AMC or GameStop? Cassius says, I did not know Super Steven was just another ape. He changed his name a couple weeks ago, Cassius. Sergio asking when to buy call options for GME. I talked about that for a few minutes, about 30 minutes ago, Sergio. I don't really want to repeat it because it was kind of a complicated explanation, but I'm going to buy some for GameStop, and I'm trying to figure out when. I'm weighing the risk of missing out if I don't buy them now versus the risk of downward market pressure as we go into the Fed interest rate concerns and the market slowing down. What's gonna have more weight? The GME buyers pushing it up? If you think that's going to carry more weight, you should buy now. If you think the market is going to continue to have bearish momentum as we go into the end of July, which that's my concern, I'm more weighted personally for my own money to see if I can get a little drop in GameStop. I don't know if I'll be right, and if I miss it, I'll probably just wait till right after the split or maybe the day of the split. I do think there will be some run up before and after the split, but I think that we're in for some rough days in the market leading up into the GameStop, not GameStop specific, but market in general. Grandpa Barney, welcome back, buddy. CPI will be at least 9.5% or higher. Model 3 dude says. What's going on, buddy? Model 3? Probably so. I agree. CPI is tomorrow, right? That also could be a negative catalyst in the market. So if I'm looking at buying calls on GameStop, I at least want to wait and see what CPI is, what those numbers are. Tomorrow, what is that? Tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern. Is that right? Paulo says, I hate you. I'm in Mullen and BBIG too. I know. I'm easy to hate, Paulo. The people that tell the truth are easy to hate. But I'd rather help you guys save money and then make money if I feel like it's a sure thing, I'm going to tell you. And I will put my money on the line. But I like to be at least 55% certain. So especially in a downward market, I'm doing much less trades. And I got to be really, really, really sure. The market's just waiting on a negative catalyst to go down and go down big. I don't like betting against that. Grandpa Barney, Grandpa is not the smartest tool in the shed. However, for me, AMC is a really great time to buy. But then I've never stopped buying. It is looking pretty spicy, Grandpa Barney. My September calls are looking beautimous today. That's a Texas word, Grandpa Barney. Beautimous. The July 15th calls. Oh boy, Grandpa Barney, think we can get a run to 17 by tomorrow for Tony Denaro? That sure would be nice. Make it so, number one. Will I be streaming later? Yuka, my next priority, Yuka, for the rest of this day, Scarlett just left to go to the pool with Heather. So my priority is to get these 2 crypto videos out. And then I've been trying to get in touch with Massalorian. Hello, Massalorian. Turn your phone on. He was moving this weekend and his phone's been off. So, yes, I want to do a live stream tonight or one day this week. There'll be some evening lives. Do I think that CPI is high, Cassius? That should be about, what, a point higher than May? Aga, good afternoon. Larry says, are all of you live? I prefer reruns. There'll be a rerun for you later, Larry. Kathy says, you deserve a shot. I was going to come on when it ran up to 16 and do a shot with you guys, and then it hit 16 before I could even shave and brush my hair. I was working with the folks in the Discord this morning. L. Michael says, Phantom 2530 bought at 305, sitting at 24 cents. Sitting there with you, L. Michael. I have not sold any of my Phantom, but as I said many times, my crypto is a 5 to 10 year hold. So we're going to have to, I don't think, a lot of people foresaw Bitcoin falling below 20,000. If they did, trillions of dollars would not have been lost. So here we are. We will sit and wait, and whether it's 2 months or 2 years, I'm not going to make the same mistake I did 3, 4, 5 years ago and not buy on the dips, not buy during the crypto winter. I will still be buying all of my favorite cryptos: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Phantom, dollar cost averaging. A little bit here and there. Real estate in Texas, Larry. I don't know if you guys saw that chart that Casey Shaw's been posting, but the inventory here in Austin is flying through the roof, meaning sales are slowing down tremendously. And I'm hearing that from other folks. I know some of the guys in our Discord are trying to sell properties. One told me he had to lower his property his asking price by $10,000 just to get any offers. And I imagine that's happening in many markets around the U.S. right now as interest rates go up. And guess what? They're about to go up, I think, another 3/4 point on the Fed rate, which is going to translate into mortgage rates. So if you're thinking about buying, you little buyers out there, do not hesitate, or make sure you lock in your rates with your lender, because you're about to get a bump here in a couple weeks, a bump up. And it's not going to be good. Every time we get a rate hike, more and more buyers get knocked out of the market because they can't qualify for the house they wanted. And they're like, well, shit, I guess we'll wait a couple years, honey, for rates to come down. Well, we could get a smaller house. No, you deserve a big house, honey. We'll just wait. Apartment's fine. On the good side, if you just happen to come flush into some money because of some random short squeeze, wouldn't it be nice to have a short squeeze happen right about the time that real estate prices are falling so you can load up on that house that you always wanted? That happened to me in the middle of last year when AMC ran up and I sold those call options. I immediately plowed it into the Bitcoin and Ethereum, which had been bottomed out, and then rode them back up to 60,000. MotoGP says, so you're not able to tell the shorts are really covering. I'm not sure what that means. We can see on Ortex a rough indication that shorts have been covering MotoGP on AMC. Sports investing and hobbies like AT&T. I think maybe many eons ago I might have owned some AT&T sports investing. I don't have any at the moment. I even forget the ticker. AT&T. Is that right? Tell me the ticker. I don't even remember it. It's been that long since I looked it up. All right. At the bell, which was 7 minutes ago while I'm jabbering around, AMC closed at $15.58, up 4.2%, a decent close on the day. GameStop 137 and pennies, up 5.3%. Let's look at all of the indexes. Red. Decliners on the day, 32.90. Advancers, 35.37. So we actually had a few more advancers than decliners, but overall the stocks making up the indexes did not fare well today. Pepsi ended whoops. Where are you at, Pepsi? Pepsi ended the day red despite that good news. DWOC is one we've been watching, ended the day red. And let's look at Canoe GOEV. I thought for a hot minute of buying this one and hoping it would run up this morning, but as soon as I saw this morning, I was like, yeah, I think I'll let it come back down. But that is, you should probably put GOEV on your radar. Getting an order for 4,500 vehicles, it's not going to put them into profitability. Getting an order for another 10,000 on top of that is not going to put them in profitability, but it gets them on the map as a player, and it makes them more relevant right now than Mullen. And sad to say that, because I have calls on Mullen for $2 strikes, and I don't have any position on GOEV. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Dino Mike says daughter just got her bid accepted with 23 other offers in 3 days. Wow. What is your, what market is she in, Dynamite? Lauren Culp says, I don't trust Ortex at all. I think the shorts have way over 100% short interest. Well, I'll cover what I know, Lauren, and then we can talk about the unknowns. Ortex gets the exchange reported data, and all shorts are required by regulation to report their short positions twice a month. And then the SEC bundles it all up and gives us in this piece of junk exchange report that we always get delayed. And I know you could say, they're willfully violating regulations and not reporting to the SEC and risking billion-dollar fines. I get it. Maybe they are. But the Ortex data comes from the exchange, which comes from anyone who has a short is required by regulation to report it. Now, you want to go out and say that they're all violating the law? That's another discussion. I'm not going to debate that here. But there are other ways that they could be affecting the stock price, right? There's market makers doing market making activities, naked shorts. There's FTDs. There's derivatives. That's really the one that I'm mostly interested in. And there's rehypothecation affects the price. There's all sorts of way for the price to be suppressed without having to buy into the tens of billions of naked shorts, which would be illegal and probably talking jail time if that was a fact. There's plenty of legal ways for them to keep the price suppressed. So I try to focus on the buckets that I know of, and I'll have my tinfoil hat on suspecting foul play in the other buckets. But I think the short interest reported on Ortex is probably pretty close to accurate. Why did I delete my Paramount AMC tweet, Andy? I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did. Did I? Maybe I did. I don't remember. If I did, it's probably because I needed to edit something and put it back up. Been a busy morning, Andy. Did we get a crime candle? Did we get a crime candle on AMC? Holy smokes. Just look at that. I also want to just compare something here real quick. Let's look at the crime candle from yesterday. I was curious when I saw how high this one went yesterday, 1527. I've heard some people say that's a signal for how high to let it run tomorrow. This was yesterday's, and right out of the gate at the market open, we ran up well past that. Is that a signal? I don't know. If it is a signal, I sure hope that this is not a signal for tomorrow, because we didn't have an upward crime candle after the market closed today. I still have no idea what's causing this. But if we look on the SPY, we should see the exact same thing. Maybe not today. No, not one on there today. How about the NASDAQ? Interesting. Not on those anymore. I wasn't as worried about it when I saw it on multiple tickers. Now, just on AMC. Now you're getting my attention. Frickin' crime candles. What the heck is this? What's JP Morgan doing? Would you look at that? Just look at it. For whoever asked about my Paramount tweet, if you weren't around earlier in this broadcast, I did go over Paramount more in depth. And please go check out Just Another Ape for our leading tinfoil hat theory on what's going to happen sometime in early August with the pounce. Will we be right? I don't know. Would it be interesting if we're right? Absolutely. No promises. Look at it. It's gorgeous. What is that, a pony? That guy cracks me up. Look at it. It looks like a little speed bag. Ruben says Uber's been in the news a lot the past couple days. By the way, I hate Uber with a passion. Anyone from my Discord who's listening in, you'll get a chuckle out of this as we were talking about Uber Eats and popcorn last night, how much Tyler hates Uber. Yep, I spent $40 on Uber last night. It arrived like 80 minutes later, cold as a rock. Not happy, not a happy customer. And I wonder what's going to happen with Uber Eats popcorn. I did see a photo, and it did look like there was a vacuum seal. But, you know, sometimes I just don't trust those drivers when, you know, they're going broke, not being able to pay for gas. I don't want them snacking on my popcorn while I'm waiting for my $20 popcorn to take an hour and a half to get to my house. I better come up with an ironclad seal on that popcorn, baby. Tammy says, every time you say, look at it, my Shih Tzu starts looking for a frog. We tell our dog, what is it? What is it? And he's like, squirrel? He starts looking up at the fence, waiting to see a squirrel so he can go attack it, running across the top of the fence. You know, the squirrel highway. What's wrong with cold rocks? I guess nothing if you're going for a cold rock massage. It doesn't make for the best dinner. I got my freaking dinner at 11:15 p.m. last night. I'm going to try something. I tried something that some of you are probably going to barf at. But I was in the mood for something different. And I've been pretty focused on eating healthier for the last week. Already lost 5 pounds. But I ordered, oh man, this is bad. It was cauliflower chicken wings. Oh, Tony, what the fuck are you talking about? Cauliflower chicken wings. Is that even a thing? There's no chicken in it. It's just basically pan-fried garlic with a chicken wing sauce on it. It's not deep breaded and deep fried. It's relatively healthy. And if it was hot, I'm sure it would have been delicious. But it was edible at room temperature. I will not be ordering from that store again. I ordered a salad from them too. And I was full from the cauliflower chicken wings. I'm not a vegetarian. I got a steak ribeye for dinner tonight, thawing in the fridge. But I just wanted something light and a little healthier than meat last night. And yeah, the salad was bland. The cauliflower chicken wings were cold. Will not be ordering from that restaurant again unless I'm starving and happen to be right next to it and can be assured of a hot meal. What is the crime candle? Brian's asking. Brian, see here right after the market closes, these massive changes. Well, look, Uber had crime candles. These massive spikes in after hours. Now, there is such a thing as the market closing auction. But the closing auction, to the best of my recollection, I did a video on this 6 months ago, so I'm having to go way back into the cobwebs of my brain. But the closing auction is generally a massive spike in volume at the same price. So people used to say, why is there this massive spike of volume at the end of the day? Always, every day. And you'll see it a lot of times right after the market closes. That's the closing auction, and there's a opening auction too. You see this big candle right here? You can find these on every stock that's on NYSE. But these big volatile candles are not normal. 5 or 10 minutes after the market closes, these are not normal. A drop from 15 down to 14.29 on no volume, not normal. And this started several weeks back. Froggy Styles calls them crime candles because collectively we haven't figured them all out. I think KC Shaw identified that they might be coming from JP Morgan. I haven't really looked into it since it's not really affecting anything. I got bigger fish to fry, and those guys are hot on it. So when they figure it out, I'm sure they'll let me know. Larry says, I'm having some buds, and you seem to be a fun guy at a happy hour. Is that a mushroom joke, Larry? I am, I'm not always as serious as I portray myself on live stream during the day. Give me a couple drinks, Larry. And I'll be right in there with you. We're a little, we like to have fun after hours. You ever come in one of my late night streams, they are much more, typically, unless I'm really mad at somebody. If I'm really mad at someone, I might go off. I might rant a little bit. But generally, I enjoy the evening live streams, especially the weekend ones, because we're just hanging out, having a drink, shooting the shit, talking some stocks, talking some planning, talking some politics, things we don't do during the day, because politics, this channel is not about politics. It's about making money. MD says, with all the ways you just mentioned to suppress the stock price, is it possible they could do this for years? Absolutely, MD. Yes. Straight up. How do you break that cycle? Unknown catalyst. Buying pressure, loaded up options chain. You got to have all three. Go back to, I don't even know, in 2021 that there was a unknown catalyst. We had massive buying pressure and a loaded options chain and a high short interest. Sorry. You get those things in the mix, it gets spicy real quick. But right now, declining market, no buying interest. Retail says they're not going anywhere, but holding is not going to do it. If you're holding, you're doing your part, but you know who's setting the price right now? The people buying and selling. Price is going down. When you see the price going down, that day there were more sellers than buyers. Or more shorts than buyers. Take your pick. Holding does not do much. If you're actively participating in the market, you're setting the price. And if you're trading on Robinhood or Webull or any payment for order flow broker, you are not setting the price. So that's why I get mad at Teddy Zane. Teddy, come on, Teddy. Throw us a bone, Teddy. Help a brother out. Lit exchange only, Teddy. It's important. I know that Robinhood app, that sweet siren song, so easy. It's so convenient. On your backwards phone, Teddy. You need to flip your camera inverse. Just hit that little inverse thing, Teddy. So we can read your phone when you're showing us your millions. But yeah, if you're using Robinhood or Webull or any payment for order flow broker, you are not participating in price discovery. You're just handing them shares to trade in the dark pool. Don't be that. Don't be a Teddy. I love you, Teddy. But come on, Teddy. Jay Portaggi, what's up, buddy? Just Another Ape says, I say the unknown catalyst was Ryan Cohen. I forgot about that. Thank you. Thank you. Recall, I was not paying as much attention to GameStop. I had already missed the boat on GameStop in January, and I was deep in digging into AMC. Am I expecting a lot of FOMO once GME splits? Lauren, I'm expecting buying pressure for GameStop leading up to the split and after the split. Yes. And both will be good for the price, and both will be detrimental to any existing shorts. The thing that I'm concerned about would be any general market deterioration, that tide taking down all ships because of the Fed. So let's hope that GameStop buyers show up despite whatever happens with the market. But we've been on a nice little run. 113 on the 6, 142. Who could complain about that? Just the shorts. Booyah! Fuck those shorts. KLR, Horaya says, take a look at KLR just halted. All right, let's see what's going on. Hang on one second. Let's see what the old news says, if anything. Nothing on the news wire. Let me check the news here and then on Twitter if nothing else comes up. Let's see. Ran up today from $2.16 to $3.10, then fell back down. Where was the halt? I don't see. None of these candles look big enough to trigger a halt. News. 3 hours ago. They shouldn't. When did they make this announcement? Oh, trading in Caleria halted pending news release. So that was 6 hours ago. And then they released this news that they are acquiring Campaign Registry. So, I don't know. Generally, you want to be the one being acquired to get a good jump on your price. Let's see if it brings up. KLR jumped 12% on Tuesday after they made a formal offer to acquire the operating business of Campaign Registry. Oh, KLR was. All right. That's TCR Acquisition made an offer to KLR. So that's why KLR jumped. If you're the one having part or all of your business being acquired, generally, if the offer is higher than your current stock price, you'll get a bump up. So that looks like that's what happened there. Play Fast and Loud says on Robinhood Reinvest Dividends page, it has AMC and GameStop highlighted. How does Robinhood know AMC will offer dividends? They cannot and will not, probably until, 2024, unless they pay off. AMC cannot offer a dividend due to the existing bond covenants that are in place. If they pay that one off early, they could. And GameStop also, they have negative retained earnings, so I don't know that they will be issuing any cash dividends anytime soon. But typically on a dividend reinvestment, if they pay out a cash dividend, let's say $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever you get, and you have dividend reinvestment enabled on a ticker, they'll take that cash dividend and buy new shares of stock automatically for you in that ticker. typically how that works. It is in general, I would say that most financial people would say if you're holding a company, let's say a Coca-Cola or an AT&T or a utility company, a good, solid, long-term company that you plan on holding for 20 years that has a history of paying increasing dividends. I did a video on that a month ago. Go check out my dividend video for where to look for these companies. It is good to pick some that have dividend reinvestments and elect to reinvest those dividends. It's a great way to increase your investment over time painlessly. Highly recommended. I don't think you need to worry about it on GameStop or AMC. I saw somebody warning everybody on Twitter to make sure and enable dividend reinvestment on GameStop. It's not going to matter with this stock split. Not going to matter. If AMC was acquired, would the squeeze be over? Big Daddy Smurf, that is a good question. Let's say, let's just say Disney made an offer to buy AMC for $30 a share. You'd see the price jump of AMC to $30 a pair and a share and flat line right there. And yeah, the squeeze would be over. Because the value of the stock's been set. There's generally not much more unless it's a Elon Twitter situation where they're fussing and there's some uncertainty about the offer going through. Generally, once the offer is made and the price is known to the public through an announcement, that's where the price is going to peg. How does a dividend work if it is, someone asking, how does a dividend work if it's 43 cents? Yeah, if they did a cash dividend, it would be per share, correct? Someone's asking about CPG. Can't understand why anyone would be selling shares. CPG, holy shit. What happened with that? Oh, that's just because I have it zoomed in too much. Womp, womp, womp. Ouch. Ouch. What's going on with this company? I'm not familiar with this one. I'll give you my 120 second of due diligence. If you don't care, put it on mute if you don't want to hear it. My 120 second look is just a quick look for any dilution and the trend of earnings and profits to understand what the heck happened here. Why did this stock crater? Fell right before the dividend date. There must have been some news, I'm guessing, on 6/9. We'll look at that in a second. Quarterly earnings have been mostly, I'll be fair and call them flat. 53 million, 84 million, 90 million, 80 million. Earnings per share have been consistently negative. Just looking at 4 quarters right now. I'm going to back up and look at annuals in just a second. And not really any, there was dilution 4 quarters ago. 34 million shares to 42 million shares. All right, let's look at annual. No revenue in 2018, 2019. And they have had increasing revenues, substantially increased from 2019 to 2021. So that is good. But as they are increasing their revenues from 2019 to 2021, they also doubled their losses. Not good. A lot going on at play with this company, just at very first glance. Not an easy one to comment on accurately in 120 seconds. Let me see if I can see what happened right here. That was about 30 days ago. No, I don't see anything jumping out at me. I'd need to do more digging. Sometimes the stock is cheap for a reason. So there's clearly, looking at the chart here, a lot more downward potential for this stock. It was at $1 just October of 2020, so a lot more downside potential. Just looking at the chart, I'd need to do an hour or more of DD on it to tell you more than that, but the trend is not bullish and the financials are mixed. So pets just broke out. I'd say do more work on it. And if you still love it, then do what you think is best. Holy smokes, what happened with this? $2 to $3.10. PETZ, thanks for the call out on that one. TDH, that was 12 days ago. TDH regains compliance with NASDAQ minimum bid price requirement. Why can't Sundial do that? I guess they had been below $1. Is that right? I don't see it. I don't see the. Did they do a reverse split? Oh yeah, they did a reverse split. Well, that explains that. They did a 1-for-20 reverse split and regained compliance 12 days ago. And they broke a trend here, guys. They did a reverse split and then they went up. You don't often see that. So what was the news, you say? I'm not seeing any. If you have news for me, let me know. I'm going to check and see if there was anything on this side. Might have just been getting pumped and retail overcame the shorts. 11% short interest, 20% cost to borrow. Not a whole lot going on there either. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell in a quick look. I would treat that one with caution. NASCAR says, will it break back down? I would treat it with caution because I can't find any news. And clearly, if they were trading under $1 and under a threat of getting delisted and had to do a reverse stock split, that usually tells me I don't even need to look at the financials to know that there were some problems with that company. So could be undergoing a pump and dump right now, which is fine. Doesn't mean don't play it. It just means go into it with eyes wide open. Brian says, do you recommend buying while drunk? I do not, Brian, although I have read surveys that up to 48.7% of traders trade under the influence. Also, coincidentally, up to 73.5% of statistics are made up on the spot. So I don't know if those are related or not. Michael says, when will CPG going to report earnings? And did they pay off lots of debt on Wednesday? I didn't see anything on that, Michael, when I was looking at it a few minutes ago. Steven says they required request for withdrawal of registration statement. Was that the request to not be delisted? Let's see. Or is that a request not to do dilution? Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe they rescinded a plan to do dilution. That would be enough to drive a stock up. John Z, how do I join the Discord? 2 ways, John. You could hit that join button if you're watching on a phone or a TV. You might not see it right below my photo here. You might not see it if you're watching on an iPad. 16 cents a day. Yes, I charge a couple pennies a day. Not because I need the money, but because I don't want my Discord being flooded and looking like Twitter and Reddit with a bunch of memes and bad due diligence. It's just to keep out the extra stuff because we're trying to make money. We have fun in there. There's rooms where you can go in and have fun and just chat and talk about politics or whatever you want. But in the stock rooms, we're doing real due diligence. And I participate in some free rooms, and I know what free looks like, and I'm happy with my $5 a month. Purposely keeping it to people that are serious about trading, whether it's stocks, options, real estate, whatever. Or you could go Patreon if you don't want to sign up through YouTube. Either one of those, once you are supporting the channel, gets you automatic access to the Discord. D Roman 80, what's going on? Hello from Cleveland. Sorry, have you been here the whole time, or are you just joining in? Eight Blazin says, if the current price is $15 on AMC, for example, and then Disney makes an offer for $30 a share and the price jumps to $30, does that mean the shorts don't exist? No, but if your short was under 30 and it jumped $15 when the market opened and the announcement was made, you'd immediately be underwater and you'd want to close out your short because the price is not going down. If your short was put in place at $40, you may as well close because it's not going down. Take your $10 and go on about your day. So they will close out voluntarily or involuntarily if they were underwater. But there's no point in really holding a short once a tender offer is made if you're relatively certain that that offer is going to go all the way through. Both parties will fulfill their end of the agreement and the SEC signs off on it, right? For an example of when it doesn't work out, Twitter and Elon. That happens from time to time. Most of the time when an offer is made, that's a done deal. Like, it's not a done deal like the papers are signed and it's done, but both parties follow through and everything goes through. It might take a few weeks or a month, however long, but you don't generally see a bunch of volatility once a legit offer is made between two agreeable partners. Kathy N says, I can't find your Discord. Is there a link? Kathy, you have to either have Discord on your desktop or download it on your phone. And assuming you've already done that and you have a Discord account, go into, if you've signed up on YouTube, like you did, Kathy, to support the channel, then you already have Discord access, but you need to link them up so that YouTube, because I don't want to be going in and see who paid every month their $5 or not. It's all automated. So you have to go in and tell Discord your YouTube channel name. So you go into your profile on Discord, go to settings, and it's called connections, I think. And you just put your YouTube channel name in there, wait about an hour or so, and they will sync up. If you need me to send you instructions, let me know. In fact, I might be able to just link them right here. If it's on Patreon, you don't need to do all that. It just automatically happens. Here we go. This is the link from the Discord help files. Just scroll down to the part that says, at the bottom, that says 4 viewers. Eight Blazin says it would be the end of the short squeeze, but in a good way. If you bought under $30 in that example, if Disney, again, this is hypothetical, guys. Disney did not make an offer to AMC if you're just joining them. We're just talking about what would happen if there was a buyout. If someone made an offer to AMC at an offer price of $30 per share, this play essentially for us would be over. If you bought in under $30 a share, you're in the green and you may as well sell for $30 that day. That's what I would do. If you bought in over $30, like Apefather, well, you still probably should sell because, I mean, what are you waiting on? You could wait and hope that the deal breaks up, but would that be bullish at that point? I don't know. So depending on your average price of your buy-in, 8 Blazin, it could be good. Orchid Lover says, I thought Elon was not going through with Twitter. Oh, he said he's not, but they're going to have to go to court, and there'll probably be some negotiation. And I've heard some smart people on TV, smart, saying that they think that those negotiations may be a tactic from Elon to extract a cheaper price. So it still could go through. And I'm not ignoring that possibility because I own Digital World. And if Twitter goes through with Elon, that still will affect negatively my DWOC play. So, yeah, there is an outside chance that they still might work out a deal. Is there any possible way, Chris asked, that CPI can cause a good day tomorrow? I mean, could come in lower than last month. I don't know. I don't think there's not a high probability of that. If it came in at expectations, that would be okay. If it came in lower than expectations, that would be okay. That would be bullish if it came in lower. If it comes in higher than expectations, whatever the analysts are saying, and then it's not going to be a good day in the market. I watched all morning retailers, talking about massive inventory sales. Maybe that's too late to affect last month's CPI data. Maybe next month we'll have a shot. Everything's going to be on sale this weekend. If you need some jewelry, if you need some patio furniture, you might have your chance to pick it up cheap, brand new from Target or Kohl's or what have you. Gap. You name it. They all placed their orders 6 months ago for inventory due to supply chain. They loaded the boats literally from China. And then it all gets here and Jerome Powell, Jerry P. set us up with some inflation and some recession. Here, have a slice of inflation and a side order of recession. and all of a sudden nobody wants to spend any money. So retailers are stuck with inventory that they can't unload. You ought to be thinking about shorting your most hated retailer right now that's carrying inventory, brick and mortar. You ought to be thinking, this is how I'm thinking, who am I going to buy puts on? Who am I going to buy puts on next? It's going to be some retailer, I can guarantee you that. Because next quarter, not going to be pretty on their earnings. We should have a contest who can pick the worst retailer. Maybe we'll do that on the community tab. Hand out some certificates to whichever one of you picks the brick and mortar retailer with physical inventory that has the worst upcoming quarterly announcement. Dang, Mountain Tactical did a day trade on pets, 2070 in profits. Booyah. I love to hear that. Where is that? Ching. How did you know to get in, Mountain Tactical, and when did you get in? Or did you get in right as it jumped and rode it up to 320? Because that's still pretty respectable. 50 cents, I mean, if you bought enough. But, ooh, would have been nice to be in at $2. Raphael said, Jim Cramer said July 13th is the bottom. Yeah, buy puts on the SPY. Reverse Cramer index typically works. Good job, Mountain Tactical. Tony Tran, thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. We will see you in the Discord, I hope. And any of you that have that beautiful green, blue, gold, or silver badge or purple next to your name, if you're not in the Discord, you're missing out. I know it can become overwhelming, but when I'm not on camera and I'm not sleeping, I'm in the Discord talking with folks, either answering questions or if I'm up early in the morning, sometimes 5:30 in the morning, sometimes 7, sharing what plays are moving or going to move and if they're good or not, in my opinion. Last night I was in Discord till 2:30 in the morning. I had someone in the comments the other day. We had a 2-hour live stream talking about GameStop, and we talked about Discord for 5 minutes. You guys know I don't push it. I don't mention it in every video at the beginning of the video like these guys do. I mentioned it for 5 minutes, mainly talking about how good the viewers of this channel are at helping us all work together and find plays. He listened to that 2-hour GameStop thing and said, you talked about a Discord that you charge for. I'm unsubscribing. First of all, I guarantee he wasn't subscribed because he would have known that I don't talk about Discord. Not on a regular basis. Hardly ever. But second of all, if someone expects me to give my free time from 5:30, 6 in the morning till 2 o'clock in the morning every day for free, you can go fuck yourself. That's to that guy that left that comment. I got better things to do with my time. I love all of you, but I think 16 cents a day is fair reciprocity for the amount of hours I put into that Discord. And many people in there are making hundreds of dollars a day, the ones that are moving on the information. So they've paid for their Discord for the next 10 years off of one trade in many cases. That's all I'll say about that. Yeah, usually you guys are the ones bringing it up in chat. I don't bring it up. Niall says, do you play more options or just buy stocks? I do both, Niall. I'm buying stocks right now on dips, and I'm buying more put options than calls because the market is heading down and you want to buy your options following the trend. So I'm looking for the weaklings. What was that one that I just did? Someone help me out in the chat. We picked a retailer. I picked a retailer and bought puts on it a couple weeks ago and did well on that one. But I'm a little bit more conservative in trading in a down market because I prefer to bet in a upward moving market. But I'm still trading. I mean, it's extra money for me. So in the green markets, in the heydays, I'll be trading $10, $20, $30, $40,000 a day on day trades and long-term plays. Oh, yeah. Sorry for you Bed Bath & Beyond holders, but yeah, it's in my community tab. I made 225% betting against Bed Bath & Beyond, BBBY, 13 days ago, based on the same thing I'm talking about with these clothing retailers, overload of inventory and having to reduce prices. So I'll be looking for more of those opportunities. It's one thing to know that a retailer is going to have a bad quarter. Everybody knows that, right? But you got to look for that doesn't mean you go buy puts on all of them. Like 80% of the options plays I look at are not priced appropriately for me to buy them. Why? Implied volatility. If everybody else already had the idea, you're too late. Could you still make money? If it wildly swings, yes. But I'm looking for the easy money if I'm right. And BBBY was going to pay me on the easy side 100%, up to 1,000% in 2 days. And I ended up making about 225%. So, that's not a bad day's work. I discard far more options plays as not viable for my criteria than I take. But when I take them, I'm pretty certain. And I'm happy to help. And I do help the people in the Discord make those kind of analysis. And we have another gentleman in there, Jason, who pretty much just does options. I see him in there doing voice chat training for other people in the chat, live voice with screens in the Discord, doing options training for folks. And I love to see that community helping each other out, even when I'm not there. What are my thoughts on ARK K? I generally like Kathy Woods. I generally think she's a sharp lady. She made some bad decisions and held on to some things too long. It's easy to love her when she's right. It's also easy to hate her when she's wrong. So I'm not going to cast any stones. In general, I like her outlook on things. But she's made some bad calls and stuck with them too long. So might have to reevaluate that. What is considered a high IV and what is considered a low IV? LT, that is an excellent question. Difficult one to answer, but let's just say that implied volatility varies from ticker to ticker. And so you need to also know the historical volatility. Now it gets complicated. I will tell you that if I look at there's a tool that you can use like optionstrat.com, for example, or optionprofitcalculator.com. I've been using OptionStrat lately. If I look at the chart, let me just pull up the one from BBBY. I'll show you what I was looking at. Why, when I say, you know what, we can probably make some money on this. A picture is sometimes worth 1,000 words, right? And I actually posted this the day I bought it in the Discord so that other folks could consider it for themselves. Let's see if we can blow this up. Now on here, the IV it looks fairly relatively high, right? 250%. But the stock was right around, what was that? Around high $7, $6.40, I guess. And I was looking at a $5.50 put. And I had 3 days on this option that I was considering: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And you see here, all it had to drop was from 640 to 540 for me to be at a gain of 124%. A $1 move on that stock to make 124%. Normally when I look at these, the payout is like 10%, 20, 30, 50. You don't get to 100% payout till it's dropped $5, $10 sometimes. Depends on the stock and what the price range is. But I'm looking for a fully loaded, massive payout scale within very close price to the current price. And that's what I saw here, so I jumped on it. You also got to be right in your due diligence that it's going to go in the direction that you want. So I bought this on Tuesday. This was Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. And I could have held it a couple days longer, but 225, 240%, you get that gain in a day, lock it in. Don't be greedy. AV Gorilla says, with bad CPI data tomorrow, did we already talk about that? I don't know if I'm rereading comments now. Yeah, I mean, if it's bad tomorrow, the market is going to go down, without a doubt. Hopefully not GameStop and AMC. NASCAR says she's the type of person who's too smart for her own good. That could be a excellent summary of her personality. All right, guys, 4 o'clock here, 2 hours into this live stream. I got 2 crypto videos that I need to get out, and then I need to call Massalorian and see if he wants to do a live tonight. So I'm going to crank through those. Sorry if I missed any of your questions. Feel free to shoot me a DM on Twitter if it's urgent, or catch me tomorrow or later tonight. And if you're in the Discord, you know how to reach me there. I appreciate you. Thank you for spending some time learning with us. I know it's not always the news you want to hear, but it's the news you need to hear, so that our expectations are set and grounded in reality, and that we all make money, and more importantly, don't lose money, right? 0%. I saw my, I forget his channel name. Anyways, another YouTuber was comparing his games to Jeremy over at Financial Education. He's like, yeah, I'm only up 10% this year, but that's better than down 90%, right? You don't want to be down 90%. You don't want to be holding plays too long because somebody's filling your head with pie in the sky bullshit due diligence. I'm not going to do that to you here. I'm always going to tell you the good and the bad. You make your own decision. I'll tell you exactly how I weigh it out. Nothing is ever for sure. Everything's a gamble in the stock market. But we got to keep our wits about us and no emotions, so that we're making reasonable, well thought out financial investments, not just gambling. Yeah, I gamble with some. I gamble with some for sure, but not the bulk. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next video.